Can I fix this mower? Well, that's the question I asked myself and a lot of you, if I should try to fix this mower. I tore it apart a few weeks ago and I couldn't get it running, and I thought it's not worth going into $300 mower. And I rethought that. I thought my whole channel's about, can it be fixed? So I've got to at least try to fix it. Yeah, I'm Marv from Marv's Fixit shop. I've been working on and tearing apart junk for over 5 decades. This mower isn't any different. Let's get right after it. Well, I've had this plug out once before, but that's where I'm going to start again. We're going to pull the plug and just double check the spark. Well, we have the plug out. Let's take a look at it. You can see that that plug's still real clean. Something else that you need to notice is how wet it is. That tells me that we have fuel going into the cylinder. So that would be another thing I would check, is my fuel delivery system. Let's see if this plug matches anything I have here. I'll have to go in and get me a new plug, but I do have this brand new one here. It's a Briggs & Stratton plug. I'm just going to put it in here and see if we can't get it to spark. Well, that didn't spark. A couple of things you want to check. Make sure I've got a good spark plug wire. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this back in the wrapper, and we're going to pull this cover off. We'll get this cover off. It's just held on with 3 bolts. And once we get the cover off, we'll check the coil. I've done all this previously, but I'm just going to redo it all to make sure. Well, I can see something I forgot to do right here. Right here's the coil. I see I have one of the bolts I didn't even tighten back up, and this one I couldn't get out. So I must have over tightened it. So we're going to get that coil out of there. I'm going to clean all this up with sandpaper, and we'll try it again. See if we can't get it to spark. I had to grind the head of that little bolt off because I stripped it and I couldn't get it out. That isn't good. That could be my problem right there. But I have to not only get a spark plug, but now I need a little bolt like that. Hope I got them in the hardware. I've been to the hardware and back. I've got a new plug and a new bolt. And I've got some emery cloth in my hand, and I'm sanding this magnet down on the flywheel. We're just going to double check the spark and make sure I didn't jump to conclusions the first time I did it. So I was in a little bit of a hurry, and I may not have diagnosed the spark correctly. I honestly don't see how the spark could have ever worked the way it was. But we'll see here now. Okay. Here's my new spark plug. I have this all cleaned up. And I have this all cleaned up. We're going to go at it and open up this spark plug. And I'm going to use the cardboard from the spark plug as my gapping mechanism. Maybe you have to go in like this. Oops, upside down. There we go. That'll do it. See, before I tightened this with my little impact wrench, and there again was another one of my mistakes. You never want to tighten these things with an impact. I should have known better. Okay, that's nice and snug. Let's pull this out. Well, that looks a lot better. Now let's test for spark. Oh, wait a minute. I got this little wire to hook up. I want to get something to clean that wire out. I have a little screwdriver right here. I'm just going to scratch that crud out of there. And I'm going to get a little dielectric grease and put on there. If I don't forget, I try to put dielectric grease in all my wire connections, but there's sometimes I don't remember to do that. Getting too big of a hurry and I don't do it. Well, I don't see any spark in that. I did all the testing on the spark plug, the coil. I have an orange spark with my spark plug tester, but I put the plug in and it's dead. I'm going to take the shield back off and double check underneath the flywheel, see if we got something going on there. Okay, let's see about getting this off. What size is that? That's bigger than that. See if this runs off. Nope. Got her loose. Now let's see if I can't pop the flywheel off. I'm sure that takes a special flywheel puller, doesn't it? I wonder if my little trick I used to do as a kid would work. I can't believe it, it worked. I'm learning more and more about these newer motors. It's not something I knew about, but since I got it tore apart this far, doesn't look like there's anything electronical under there. It's all right here and somewhere else. At the very least, at least I can clean it up, but it looks to me like I need to get me a new coil. But I just want to make sure there's not something I'm missing. Okay, there she comes. Ah, I see. That's the oil plug that's missing, and the carburetor seems like it works just fine. Let's pop the valve cover off and double check the valves. Make sure they're opening. Since I got it tore apart this far, might as well go further. I'm used to taking the flywheel off and finding a bunch of sparks or points and condensers and that kind of stuff. So where's the electronics on this? What makes it spark? What makes these engines tick? There's oil in there. It's a good thing. Well, that's working just fine. This here's the brake. That handle goes. And it's got a shut off right there, but boy is that dirty. My guess is that this coil's bad. I'm still gonna go ahead and order a new coil, and we will go from there. Actually, the oil coming out of the valve cover isn't too bad, so let's recap what I've done. I've removed the spark plug, tested for spark, cleaned the coil up here and on the flywheel, no spark. Not knowing for sure what I was doing with this engine, I went ahead and disassembled it. I took the flywheel off. That came off in the same way that they've always come off for me, not having the proper tools. Just pry up and pop a little on the end of this with the nut on it. Popped right off of there. If I was going to do this a lot, I'd want to get me a flywheel puller. Since I got the tank loose like this, I'm going to go at it and pull the hose off and drain it and put some fresh fuel in it. I'm going to get some cleaner and just clean everything up since it's all exposed, especially this back here. Make sure we don't have something shorting out there because there is a wire coming from here to the coil. My guess is that's a kill wire. The valves look good. I've turned them over, they move, and you can see them moving, hopefully. And that's what I've done to this point. That's as far as I'm going to go with this motor today. I'm going to go ahead and order the parts and we'll come back and we will pick it up again. Comment, tell me what you think on all of that I've done. I don't know if I should just go ahead and pull the head off yet and check the cylinder walls or not, but I'd really like to see this spark resolved. I'm going to clean it all up like I said, and we will put fresh gas in the tank, and then we'll try it again. Subscribe to my channel if you like someone tinkering around with stuff he doesn't know a lot about. Whole idea of the channel is to see if I can fix it. If I can, so can you. Subscribe to my channel if you like videos like these, this one and others. Watch these right here. Can it be fixed? Sure it can. Can you fix it? You're darn right you can fix it, probably better than me. Till the next one.